Well, welcome back to another Lazy Sunday. I think I've just done one of these, haven't I? I'm not sure. Either way, I've got two choices again today. I can do the kit that I failed to do last time. I didn't fail. What I mean is I chose not to do it. We chose the other one, which was this one over here, which was a function generator. It was really cool, actually. Nice and simple kit, fun to put together, and actually looked really clean on the scope when I turned those lights off. The other one here, I don't know what it is. It's a mystery one. Unless I take it out and have a look at the schematic, I don't know what it is. And even then, there's no guarantee I'll know what it is because I spent, I don't know, half the video not knowing this was a function generator because I didn't look at the silk screen. Because I'm an idiot. Anyway, so we've got two choices, but we're not doing that one. So it's not really a choice. We're going to do this one. This is the badge from the Unexpected Maker. This is his... Ooh, he's written some stuff in here. Let's find out. Did I buy this or did he send it to me? I think I bought it. I don't know. Sion, you'll have to tell me. But I'll put a link to this in the description. You can buy one yourself if he's got any left. Oh, come on now. How? So he's selling them on Tindy. Ooh, I think there's a message in here. I've had this for a while. I'm sorry, Sion. So he says, "Hey David, you have badge number 1. It's special. Only one of its kind." Oh mate, look, that's horrible, isn't it? It's basically a betrayal from me. I got it on the 1st of August, or he sent it on the 1st of August. So we're going to be putting this together. His badge is better than my badge, I guarantee it. Incidentally, I'll put mine up for sale at some point. Those are cool LEDs. They're like orange. Do you want to go a bit closer? So we've got some orange looking LEDs here. They look sweet. He's put one of these silica packets in there. Which, do you know what I do with these? Every time I get one of these, I throw it in my 3D printing box where it's got all the filaments in there. So I don't know if that really helps. And shake all this stuff out. And there's the board. Oh, that is ace. So this is the badge. Make something unexpected. TheUnexpectedMaker.com 2018. Oh, look at that. These are pretty sharp, actually. So we've got a lot of components on here. Those look like 0603 LED pads. That's probably a switch just there. Oh, I can read that. It says AT-Tiny85. Is that little crystal? No. Can it be? I don't know. Maybe. Now, I don't have anything to do sort of hot air work with, so hopefully this is achievable by hand. It's also hackable. You can see over here we've got VCC, we've got SPI pins. Interesting. Hopefully he's programmed it up with something, because otherwise I'll have to rethink this. So on the back of that piece of paper, Sion has helpfully printed a guide to tell you where everything goes, which is good, because heaven knows I could have made a mistake there. So we've got the AT-Tiny85, we've got the 0805 cap, 0603 resistor, and they're numbered and coloured as well, which is really cool. So he's got the purple resistor there, we've got a 2 for the 0805 capacitor, 5 is for the 10k resistor, and the 0805 orange LEDs. Okay. Let's get started, shall we? Now we're going to start from number 2. We're not going to do the LEDs, we're going to do those last. That is instruction number 1. So we're going to go for instruction number 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then we'll do the IC, and then we'll do the LEDs, and then we'll jump over to the rear and put the clip on and the battery connector thing. And then I'll see if I can find a battery. Right, number 2 then. I don't really have any tweezers to hand, so we're just going to have to... Oh, actually, I really do need tweezers, don't I? Ooh, these aren't the best, but we'll use these ones. Right, so, super cool trick for doing these SMD pads is to plop a bit of solder on there first. And this number 2 is the 0805 100 nanofarad capacitor, and it goes here on C2. clean my iron a little bit. That's better. So we'll just put some solder on there. Perfect. We'll pick up our component. Done. And then we'll swing the board around a little bit and then we'll just get the other side. Perfect. Okay. We could probably touch a bit more solder over there as well. And pick up the component with the soldering iron. Brilliant. Nobody saw that, it's okay. It turns out I didn't solder the other side at all. You can see that the pad is clear there. Let's try that again. See, we all make mistakes. There we go. Second time lucky. Sorry, Sion. Hopefully I don't make too much of a hash of this. Now we're going to go for number 3, and that's the next component over here. It's marked as C1, and it is a 10 microfarad capacitor. Immediately loses it. There we go. So first off, blob of solder. Grab our component up. It's a little bit sticky, this solder, for some reason today. I don't know whether it's because it is pretty darn cold in this house today, I can tell you. Now that is the wrong side of my iron, isn't it? Yeah, that looks done to me. What's next? Number 4. So we've got 3 10K resistors here. They are tiny, aren't they? Right, let's find out where they're going. Oh no, they're the 1K resistors. So we've got 3 just over here. Almost got that wrong. So these are very tiny little pads. But that's okay, we can deal with that. So these are 0603. They look a lot smaller. Are you sure? There's one. Just... oh, it's stuck to the end of my tweezers. We're going to place this one by hand. I'll just maneuver them into roughly the right position so I can just quickly pick them up. Bit of flux would be good here, I think, but we'll go without. There's one done. There's the other one done. So let's just turn this around slightly. Do you want to come in a bit closer? Because these are tiny. That's as good as it's going to get. We could come in closer than that, actually. Do you want to? All right. Right, that's as close as I can go with my current setup. So you are going to have to put up with it. I can see from the camera, because it's closer to the circuit board than I am, that this one is a little bit off center. That's not a huge issue. This tip is mighty big to be doing 0603 stuff, but we'll persevere. No, I'm sort of feeding solder onto the iron. Sometimes that's okay, sometimes it's not. It looks like they're done to me, but I kind of need a magnifying glass to check. Okay, what's next? Number 5, I think, is next, which is the 10K resistor. So not the one that I thought it was. Well, okay. I think maybe my eyesight's getting worse. I'm not sure. Let's see where we are. So the last one goes up here, just there, 10K. Oops, can't quite reach it. There we go. That could do with moving a little bit because I can't quite see a lot of the pad on this side, but we'll persevere and see if we can't make that go. Well, it's not super clean, but it is done. Next up, we're going to do the IC, because the button, that's a button by the way, it's not a crystal, it's a little tiny buttonlet. So we'll do the IC first, then we'll do the button and the switch. So let's get the IC out. So do we have pin 1 marking? We do, just over there. So that IC, oops. I mean, the whole point of me picking up was tweezers was so I didn't touch it with my hand, but whatever. It is going around that way. Just like that. So let's blob some solder onto the ground pin at the top there. Well, we've put it on 2. That might be a bit of an issue. Still, let's try it anyhow. So what I've done is put it on 1 pad and I'm going to slide the chip over, but actually I've done it on 2, so we're going to have to just work with what we've done. There we go. So let's just redo that one. We'll come over here and we'll do this one again, because not this one again, we're doing opposite sides so that your chip stays stable. I am actually going to use a little bit of flux here. Just because I can see that solder getting a little bit sticky. I'm not sure if that's the actual correct expression for it. I can see you, bridge. I see ya. I see ya. It's just in the middle there. Can you see that? Because I've just messed with it a touch too much. There we go. Now just pop some of that solder goodness back on. And then this pin over here. Oh, and the one next to it. Oh, and this one. Let's do them all again. Okay, right, let's get the button on. Now the button's fairly close to the IC, so we're going to do it this way round so it's facing me. And we're going to push onto the furthest pad. Now it does look like there's an unpopulated resistor down there for a 10K. It's not used. It says here. Not used. Oops. Not used. See? Just in case you think I'm doing it wrong. Now, I'm assuming it doesn't matter which way around this button goes. And we're going to have to use the nub on the button because I can't quite get close enough. There we go. That looks okay. Now, let's spin this around. Let's see if we can't get in there to that connection without touching our tiny little 10K resistor. No, I cannot. We're going to cheat. I'm going to put a tiny bit of solder on the pad and then just get in there. I don't know if you could see that, but I did touch that little resistor there. No, I can't see around the other side of that. Let's just, we'll have to turn it. There we go. I'm just going to do a bit of a close-up inspection of that. Yep, that seems okay to me. Now we're going to get this little switch on, which goes that way. So the switch doesn't point outwards. That's okay. I mean, it doesn't go on the other side of the board, does it? No, it doesn't. It goes just there. Okay, let's do that then. Now, it's got some little nodules. In fact, I'll show you. It's easy enough to do that. On the bottom of this IC, you can see these little holes in the PCB here. I can stick my tweezers in them. So it's got these holes in there, and on the bottom of that switch, it has sort of corresponding nubs to sort of stay sat into the PCB. It gives it a bit of physical strength, but also it means you can line it up very easily when you put it on the board to solder it. I think it's probably more about physical strength. It would be really brilliant if it didn't pop out though. Try that again, there we go. All right, it's solidly in now, so we can proceed to solder the rest of these little pads. I'm assuming there is something for those to connect to, because I've soldered onto the case there. There we are. Oh, no, I've missed one. It may not be necessary, but it could be a ground or something. There we go. Right, what is next? I think it's LED time. Yeah, it's just LEDs. Now this is the worst part. If anyone ever tells you they like soldering, I bet they don't like figuring out which way around the blooming LEDs go on anything. It's kind of the worst. So let's just get them all out and put them all on the table. They have gone everywhere. But they have arrows on them. So if I bring it up to the board, you'll see, oh, there's already one on there, brilliant. So you'll see that they've got a little pointer and arrow. That's your diode symbol. So let's check that it's correct to what I imagine it should be. So I've got a multimeter over here. It's in diode mode. So the arrow is pointing that way, so we should have power on this side and ground on this side. Sion, what have you done? This is a beautiful pink one, look at that. So let's just check that was right. Yeah, so power is on the flat side. Oh, I'm super impressed. So we can see some arrows on here for the diode symbol on the inside of these LED symbols. Let's come back in, shall we? Right, I've come in super close now. I hope you appreciate it. Also, it's going to be in 4K, so you'll be able to see some pretty good detail, hopefully. But I've now got, oh crumbs, don't do that. I've now got about twice the length of the board away from the lens here. So not great working distance, but you get to see a bit more, and actually I could use the viewfinder to help me out a bit. So let's get started with some of these, shall we? So let's do some pads first. So if we do the outside pads, that seems like it'd be the easiest to push to the outside. So let's do that. So the outside is the ground pad. You can see that because it's got these, I don't know what you'd call them. It looks like it connects to the green on the outside. So that will be the ground section. So the badge competition was started by Sion. It's not really a competition. It's more of like a community activity where we all sort of get involved, come up with some cool ideas, you learn something, and I think we're talking about having something a bit more accessible for everyone, because we just did it with a small group of us to start with, because we all started talking together, so it was a lot of fun. In fact, there's still some people yet to finish theirs, hint hint. So I'm looking forward to seeing other people's designs out in the wild. I think Sion and I might be the only people to have done it so far. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's okay. It's not like it's a huge thing. It would just be nice to get other ones out there so we can start something new. This is coming off its... Tighten that up a bit. There we go. Yeah, it'd be nice to start on something new, and I think we all are doing our own thing, but I enjoyed the group thing. There we go. So that's the outside pads of all of them done. And now we can put our first one in. Now that arrow needs to go that way. So is there a mark on the top? I think there might be, you know. So the top of these LEDs also have a marking. It's fairly difficult to see. Let's pop some white paper down so you can see it. So can you see that green section on this end here? That's actually which way the arrow is pointing, or which way the diode's pointing. So we can use that marker rather than have to flip them up again, which I was going to do, but we won't now. So let's just turn that around the right way, and we'll twist our board a little bit, and we'll start there. There's a hefty blob of solder on that pad. It's not ideal, but it will do for these 0805s. I can't believe you haven't mentioned to me before that I hadn't done this, Sion. I didn't know you'd done special LEDs on it. That's done. God, this is going to take a while. We're going to super speed through this, and I'll just do some chatting, because otherwise it's going to take some time to do this. Well, it's going to take me that time anyway, but you won't have to watch all of it. I mean, I can tell you how long it takes if you like. Let's take a time now. So I've got my own badge coming out as a kit, incidentally. Oh, that is janky. Let's try that one again. And I'll pop that up on the old Tindy store at some point. It's been a really fun exercise, actually. And one that I'm now using to full advantage by making some more battery-powered projects. I kind of enjoy using those little coin cells. God, I hope these are going on the right way. Wouldn't it be just tragic if they weren't? That is not soldered properly on one side. We will have to come back and sort that now. You can see it just moves ever so slightly. There we go. So I'm not following my own advice here. Usually my advice to anyone doing SMD soldering is have a secure place for your arm to rest when you're holding these tweezers and the soldering iron. But I've had to bring this all so far to the front of the desk that I'm just hanging off the desk and hovering over the top, because the tripod won't sit very far back when it's all laid out like this. But it seems to be going okay. There hasn't been anything terrible just yet. Just my hands have been shaking quite a lot when I've been soldering. I've got some confessions to make. I haven't finished the rotary phone project. It's sat in a box right now, not doing anything at all. But it works. I've just got to that part where really what I need to do is fit it inside the box, and that's literally the hardest part, because it's not fun, so I don't want to do it. Also, a little bit, I don't want it to be over. Now I am one LED short, which means I've lost it somewhere. And we'll go hunting for it, or find another one. There are some projects, however, that you haven't seen or got finished and you never saw. Let's find this rogue LED, shall we? No, I can't find it. So we're going to go with a pink LED from the crap clock days. Are these the same size? They look different. Let's find out if these are too small. Oh God, yeah, they are, aren't they? Can I make it fit though? That's the real question. Let's see if we can make it fit. All right, well, it goes that way round, so that's what we're putting on. Holy moly. God, it's too small. Is it going to fit? Yeah, I think it might do. I'm sorry, Sion. I've lost one of them, so we're going to have to use this. What? I mean, yours are what? 0603? No, they're 0805, so this one's an 0603. Well, now we can go through and solder them all. On the other side. Yeah, so projects you haven't... oh, that one's a bit wonky. Oh, well, whatever. Projects you haven't seen that have gotten completed. There was the Roberts radio thing, right? That was probably a year ago. I'm not even going to pretend that the radio cube ever got finished. I didn't do that in the end. But I still developed the code for it, so essentially it exists and it worked, but I just never put it inside the cube. So that thing worked on the basis that I had light dependent resistors on each face apart from one face, so 5 faces of a cube, and depending on which side was down, so you can only use it in a light room, it would play a radio station that you predefined. And I kind of liked it because on the opposing side you could have a picture of the radio station or something. But in the end, I just wouldn't have used it, but I liked coding it. So actually one thing that is in progress that I've not finished, but just because I want to do some coding, is an RSS e-ink display showing the news. So that's in progress, but I can't really figure out how to cleanly bring RSS into, it's using an ESP8266, cleanly bring it in without running into some memory issues. So I'm currently doing it in PHP and then feeding the information as a JSON string back to the ESP8266, which is working really well. However, it's not all in one. Right, that is that side done. I'm just going to have a little check and make sure I haven't missed anything. No, that looks good. Let's fling it over and get the other sides done. So the clip goes like that, and then our battery connector sits there. Now, how do we do the battery connector? Ouch! That's warm. Let's try that all again. Oh, that does not mess around with heating up. Okay, let's just say that is in line enough, and we'll just do the other side. And then we'll come back over here and just tidy it up, because I can see that I've missed one of them and the other one's sort of sitting down there. There we are. Now the pin. Right, how do we do this? Well, that's not worked. No, is that incorrect? Am I doing it wrong? I don't know. maybe. Yeah, it feels like it's on there, even if it is burning hot. Okay, so we are done, I think. Now what do we need? I've got a 3.6 volt battery, that should probably do. So let's use one of these rechargeable ones. And pop that in. Turn it on. Please work. No. Oh, Sion, what have I done? Okay, let's have that battery out of there and find out what I've done wrong. There is a problem and I have found it. So, just down here we've got the switch and I said there's an unpopulated pad there. Well, it turns out that's your primary switching contact, isn't it? So you've got this switch, that's your input and that's your output. Turns out that's not. There's no pad for it on the switch, so it's broken. So we're going to try and take this switch off and we'll either put our own on, and I may have one, I don't know. But it could be that it's bent underneath the switch and I didn't notice. But I didn't think I saw it, so... No. I've just taken the lid off the switch. Well, at least we get to see what's inside these now. So you've got like there's your contact that runs over this channel here that I've bent out of all recognition. We do need it off there now. Let's see if we can find another one. And it turns out, yes, I can. I've got a bag of these. They're not the same as Sion's, but they're pretty similar. Let's see if they fit. Oh. Yeah. It fits and it has all the contacts, so let's go with one of those. And fingers crossed. That is the only issue. Or maybe it was perfectly fine and I've ruined it. Should we give that a shot? Man, that is badly soldered. Well, we're going to give it a go now, so I don't know if it's in the on or off position. Well, it's certainly not working, so God, I hope that's in the off position. Let's find out, shall we? Ah, great. All right, now to do some troubleshooting. Nothing is getting warm. Let's do some power checks. So I need a ground. Let's take the top ground from up here. It's just probably better off in the enclosure, but no volts. No volts. I really should check that battery, honestly. I get nothing from the battery. It might be that the battery's dead after all. Let's go get another battery. Oh my God. Okay, I've got 3 volts bang on this battery here, so let's throw it in and do the switch. Okay. Oh my God, it works. It was a frickin' battery. I'm so sorry, Sion, for destroying your for destroying your switch. That it had nothing to do with the switch. It was just this thing. I'm going to go and charge up now. Oh my word, that is crazy. Let's turn these lights off. Check that out. Hopefully it doesn't give anyone a seizure. Where's the little LED I put on? I put this one on here. It looks very, very similar. Now there's a button there. Does that do something, Sion? Oh my God, it's beautiful. Ah. Oh, wow. So does that change the speed? Oh yeah, it does. So that's now clockwise, anti-clockwise, slow clockwise, slow anti-clockwise, seizure inducing. Isn't that cool? This is freaking awesome. I love it. I'm sure he's probably got some left, so head over to Tindy and you can pick one up. But isn't that... I just love it. I'm so sorry I messed it up. But we fixed it, so it's fine. It wasn't even broken. This took around about 35 minutes in total, if you discount messing about. Yeah, so a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sorry again, Sion. Link in the description if you want to check one out, and I'll speak to you all soon.